Yum, minerals.
So what do you think about it?
But what?
All this water. We camped outside for a month to get it.
Yeah, then no one showed up. It didn't live up to the hype. Pretty underwhelming. I wish it had more flair, you know?
Yo, look at the announced new PlayStation Showcase. Fortnite 2. Yes, he totally fell for it. That's what you get for having him try out this, you dumbass.
He just woke up!
Finally, it's been 3 hours. It's f***ing Christmas and my birthday.
What? The last thing I remember was drinking water outside Aldi. Wasn't that 5 days ago?
Yeah, we took 5 days to bring it to your house. We didn't know where to live.
So you're saying I wasn't out for 3 hours?
You were out for 5 days, damn it. This guy doesn't have a single track of time.
Fact. Thank you very much. We tricked, robbed, and kidnapped you for a reason. What is this? Why am I being targeted?
Not again.
I honestly don't mind it. I already had one.
Why are they black and white?
Yeah, we just printed them.
I guess I forgot the consequences of killing a corrupt influencer. Also, your ass was wanted before, why didn't you tell us?
I didn't want to inferiorize you guys.
Cute, you'll just wasted 5 days of my life that I'll never get back just because you got a bounty? Man, just be like me and stay inside for 2 months, no biggie.
That's not the problem, Goncalus. You're behind rent and you can't get a job because of your 3,000 bucks bounty.
Ah, Gus first professional talker and buyer. What do you propose?
How much do you know about Pokémon TCG?
Pokémon TCG!
Don't tell me he's gonna talk about Pokemon TCG.
Let's go and gone here.
He's gonna talk about Pokémon
TCG.
I could go for something jolly today. Yo, let's go! Pokemon might just be the biggest franchise in the planet. They've already made an anime series and a bajillion games. Oh, and a ton of merchandise. There's no need to explain what Pokemon is. They've racked up billions of dollars and every grandma knows Pikachu. Everyone knows Pokemon.
Yeah, I know what Pokemon is. It's those fish thingies, right?
What?
Nah man, that's Digimon. Pokemon has those little angry guys.
Huh?
You know, the ones you have to feed every day, man.
Do you seriously don't know what Pokemon is?
No.
This uncultured. I got this one. Pokémon is a gaming juggernaut, one of Nintendo's biggest franchises, so big that it even generated the Pokémon Company. Created in 1995 by Satoshi Tajiri, the games revolve around trying to catch Pokémon and battling other Pokémon to become Pokémon Master. Got it?
I still don't get it.
Before we got buggy and glitched out games like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we had Pocket Monsters Red and Green, the Game Boy original. This game was massive in Japan, too big even, but it would take a while for an international localization. But finally, it happened. September 27, 1997, Pokemon Red and Blue F*** the Green were colorblind, finally released in America, and this was the start of something massive. The games were a hit, and quickly became the Game Boy game to get. It fundamentally replaced Tetris for the rest of the Game Boy's lifespan. But it was just the beginning. 1 year later, the Pokémon anime made its US debut, and saying it was a success would be an understatement. It did release earlier in Japan, but its reputation was quickly destroyed after a certain incident happened. The rest of the world didn't get that episode, so we're good. After the success of the anime and the games worldwide, you know what happened next. Merchandise. Pokemon is the most marketable franchise of all time. You can't just live off of Pokemon merch alone. And one of the first things we got was a trading card game. Magic the Gathering popularized games with collectible cards, and Pokemon was a perfect fit, in my opinion. We had 150 Pokemon at launch in 96. Making a TCG would be a no-brainer, everyone is gonna want that. So, October 1996, the Pocket Monsters card game released in Japan, and in 1998, the Pokemon trading card game released worldwide. This is one of the best inventions made by humankind. Do I even have to explain the impact this made to our economy? It's awesome and atrocious at the same time. Our economy was forever doomed because of these paper cutouts.
Oh, so that's what the TCG stands for.
What do you think it stood for?
I don't know, the Colossal God?
The Colossal... Never mind.
Are you gonna explain the business plan or what?
The Pokemon TCG has a ton of different expansions that released throughout the years, but I'll just talk about the best ones and give some thoughts about them. The first expansion we've ever gotten was this one, commonly referred as Base Set. Base Set is your typical Pokemon expansion, great start of the TCG craze. This set is pretty cool, it has pretty good cards such as Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Diglett, Mewtwo, Bill, and Charizard, the card that single-handedly destroyed the entire economy. The impact this card had on us was insane. Basically, some people decide to sell and buy this card for thousands or even more because, ooh, shiny cardboard, first edition and Charizard is cool. Kind of an overrated card because of that incident. Yeah, there were a few versions of Base Set. First we had First Edition, which is the rare one, Shadowless, Unlimited, which is the more common one, and Base Set 2, which was a mixture of Base Set with the Jungle and Fossil sets. The Jungle and Fossil sets were released after Base Set, and featured the rest of the Pokemon that weren't included on Base Set, such as Jigglypuff, Aerodactyl, Muk, Dragonite, Geodude, and the other guys. These were the three main sets during Gen 1, and these were one of the best in the entire TCG. The art, the stats, and the nostalgia. Yes, it's definitely nostalgic. Moving over to Gen 2 and the 2000s, we had sets with pretty original names. Neo Genesis, Neo Discovery, Neo Revelations, Neo Destiny. In Gen 2 we also got two new types, Steel and Dark. See, during Gen 1 we had Grass, Water, Fire, Electric, Psychic, Fighting and Normal. But there were some missing, and even with these two, there's a lot missing, but we'll get more later. About the cards, we had some beautiful ones here. I personally like this Shining Tyranitar. Yup, Shining, not shiny cards were saying during Gen 2, and some of these are gorgeous. I also love this Slowpoke here. He's one chill dude. But my favorite card is about to turn me into a buffoon. I can already feel the hypocrisy entering my body. It's Lugia. This Lugia card is the exact same story as Charizard, but it never reached the same heights as the last one. But come on, it looks f***ing awesome, they outdid themselves this time. Gen 3 is when some things changed. The original distributor of the TCG cards, Wizards of the Coast, stopped distributing them and passed it on to Nintendo. But Gen 3 being Gen 3, we got some banger expansions. EXE Ruby and Sapphire, EXE Deoxys, EXE Emerald, EXE Unseen Forces, and so much more. All the expansions had the EXE name in the beginning because Gen 3 introduced EXE cards. Originally, EXE were regular cards, but with some cool effects and textures, and most important of all, an awesome illustration. These were very special. Like, look at this Mew, or this Rayquaza, or heck, the best of them all, this awesome Registeel. He's just happy to be here. We also got a mini-series of expansions called the E-Card series, and these were also used for the GBA e-reader. Yeah, who remembers that? The e-cards featured the yellow ridge on every card to scan them on the e-reader. And what you got? Pokédex entries of the Pokémon you scanned. Pretty nice. Gen 4 didn't do much in terms of new card types or rarities, but we still got some neat cards. You can't go wrong with Gen 4, but in the TCG, there was nothing new. But still a great gen nonetheless. It's the one gen where I have more cards. It's stocked! Since this was a time to get official Pokémon cards, it was also a great time to buy bootleg cards. Bootleg Pokémon cards are nothing new, they already existed since Gen 1, but it really started to hit me during Gen 4. And oh man, these were everywhere back then. Why buy 50 cards for 15 bucks on the big shop when I can buy 100 for 2 bucks? It was a steal. Except it was a steal and they were robbing me. Some of these can range from identical to official ones, the bit odd ones with some misspellings and incorrect HP. Seriously, no other card has 6000 HP. The miscut ones, and whatever these are. These are gold. The Cloth, Tricolor Piranha, Compound Eye Moss, Duck, Ultra Dream, and of course, Sableye. I can show that, can I? Have you ever seen the back of these cards? What logo is this, bro? What the f— This is just too dank, I can't do this anymore.
They fake Pokemon cards, but I was fine.
Easy. Kids that don't know the difference between a table and a desk.
What's the difference?
Here you go.
Gen 5 I just gave up. I think I took a backseat during the whole of Gen 5. I didn't play the games, black and white on the DS. The anime was weak during Gen 5, I hated the black and white seasons, and there weren't any decent expansions for the TCG at this period. I think the only official Gen 5 cards I have are these McDonald's cards I got that came with a toy on a Happy Meal. I gotta admit, Gen 6 was pretty good overall. The best seasons of the anime, decent games, and pretty cool stuff happening on the TCG. First off, we got two new types, the Fairy and Dragon types. The Fairy type was a cool one with the pink cards, but unfortunately, it seems this type was discontinued, making it the only type to no longer exist. And the Dragon type is still a thing, even if it was briefly discontinued 2 or 3 times, but it's only temporarily. With the X and Y expansions, we got new EX cards, which were awesome, Mega Evolution cards with Mega Pokémon, and Break cards with... what? Horizontal designs? For the 20th anniversary of Pokémon, we got an expansion celebrating just that, with the X and Y Evolutions expansion, and this one featured cards pretty inspired by base set, such as Charizard, Mewtwo, Gyarados and all good stuff. This was one of the first times the Pokémon company decided to re-release old base set cards. Gen 7. What happened during Gen 7? I guess we received our first Elite Trainer box, those are nice and still exist, but not much happened during the Sun and Moon era of the trading card game. Gen 8 on the other hand, I think this one was one of the best for the TCG. I honestly don't care about the Sword and Shield games, but the expansions we got during this era were amazing. Fusion Strike, Astral Radiance, Pokémon Go, Celebrations, Evolving Skies, Vivid Voltage, Crown Zenith, so many good ones came out here. One of my favorite additions were the V and VMAX cards. These are beautiful. I especially like this alternate rare Mew VMAX of the Fusion Strike set. This card might be my favorite of all time. Celebrations did a similar thing to Evolutions, but we got something more than base set. We got many re-releases of a variety of different eras of the TCG. Oh, and it's expensive, it's not worth it. Astral Radiance continues to be one of my favorite expansions of all time. It was based on Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and the cards here were pretty sweet. And finally, we arrive at Gen 9, Scarlet and Violet. The games were fun even with these consistent flaws, and the TCG still looks good on this era. They brought back EX cards from X and Y, and now we have new Paradox Pokémon. Tell me these don't look beautiful. And that's where the trading card game currently stands, and I hope it stays this way for a while. Pokémon TCG is seriously one of the best things of all time. Now, if you don't mind, let's take a look at my collection. I have 2 base set cards, a Magnemite and a Porygon. I honestly don't know where these came from. I have a lot of Unseen Forces cards in extremely good condition, because believe it or not, Gen 3 expansions can still be found in Portugal mint. The cards are not in English, but still good nonetheless. This one might be the biggest highlight of my collection, an EX Ho-Ho from Unseen Forces. Pretty good and expensive card, but in a terrible shape. Here's some Diamond and Pearl cards, some one-offs and some Astral Radiance. I was gonna try to finish the collection of Astral Radiance, but I thought, nah, it's too much for cardboard. Some Crown Zenith and the best thing on my entire collection, really the pinnacle of my existence, V-Star card.
What did any of this do with the business?
Alright boys, time for gift exchange.
What is this?
That's from me. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Ooh, my favorite!
Whoa, what? A free trial at IKEA Premium?
Yeah, and if you call to IKEA now, an employee will come directly to your location and satisfy your needs.
Here, I got something.
You should have.
It's a reason to live.
Thanks, but call up IKEA. I need my needs to be satisfied. What? An employee couldn't appear at time?
Obadiah Mobs, IKEA employee.
Why can't you be here?
I'm currently on the International Battleborn Fest in Sweden.
What a shame.
I wanted some Battle War Magic to...
Business plan?
Do we have an ink printer?
I do have an ink printer.
We don't need it. How about we do this? Let's sell my fake Pokemon cards. I have dozens of them.
Congratulations! You're my first and only customer to be dumb enough to succeed. We'll start next week. New Year's can wait.
Can we call it the Gex Guild?
Yeah, sure. Placeholder name of an organization that sells fraudulent products.
Awesome, now I can receive money while playing games. Let's go.
Yeah, this business thing is going to be great. Let's hope it stays afloat.
Selling fake Pokemon cards? The kids will love that.
We're gonna make more money than my bounty!
This is a Christmas miracle. How did you get such a great idea?
I don't know, it must have slipped.
I can't wait for the next week. Everyone is gonna want a piece of the Gex.
We didn't sell last week. Let's turn to mercenary economy.
Okay.